Hello, everyone, and welcome to Locked On Flames. Last night's Battle of Alberta could not have gone any smoother. Well, except for maybe a few things. We'll talk about that and more today on today's episode of Locked On Flames.
You're Locked On Flames, your daily podcast on the Calgary Flames. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
What is up, everyone? I'm your host, Jess Belmosto of the Metropolitan Riveters Public Relations team, as well as a plethora of blogs throughout the internet over the last 5 years of my NHL coverage. Today's episode is brought to you by Rock Auto. Rock Auto has reliably low prices for all of your car and truck needs. Well, how are you today? Thank you so much for making Locked On Flames your first listen of the day. You can find us anywhere you get your podcasts, and we're also free 99 on YouTube. So what more could you want than free daily Flames coverage? In a well-fought Battle of Alberta, the Flames take Game 3. It was a 3-1 win with 2 goals from Tyler, insert nickname, Toffoli. You know, I've been talking to Sarah from Locked On Kings, and she is a really big fan of bringing back Cupcake. So I think we're going to start calling him that and rework that into the repertoire of nicknames for Tyler Toffoli. And Johnny had a gorgeous game winner. You know, I think that he looked so happy after he scored too. You know, it is great to see these players going and getting those wheels turning and just dominating over the your biggest rival, which is of course the Edmonton Oilers. I think Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl had a combined 2 shots on goal by the time Tyler Toffoli had scored his 2 goals. So, I'm not saying that it's time to maybe trade Leon Draisaitl, but maybe things just aren't working out for you as much as you wanted them to. But anyways, that's a conversation for another day. Anyways, the first penalty, now that we've talked about the good, we do have to talk about the bad, because nothing is ever truly all sunshine and roses. We do have to harp on the negatives just a little bit today. The first period was brutal. All right. It was not only was it a scoreless first period, it was just messy Flames hockey. There were a lot of turnovers. Mikael Backlund took a really dumb penalty, and I was certain that the Flames were going to allow a power play goal, and it was just going to go rapidly downhill. And not because the Flames are a bad team, but because it's the Oilers and they have a few power play merchants, and things just kind of unravel once the Oilers score first. And that's not what we want to see at the Saddle Dome ever. And, thankfully they were able to kill that penalty, because we were not feeling any of that. And then Andrew Mangiapane, okay? Talk about it all the time. No one is immune from criticism here. We criticize everyone, including the players that we love. And Andrew Mangiapane is that player for me. And it was talked about on the broadcast last night about how Daryl Sutter is a what have you done for me lately kind of coach. And because of Mangiapane's sloppy turnovers and just kind of, I don't want to say lazy, but maybe a little undisciplined game in terms of him just playing not so strong defense and turning over the puck giveaway after giveaway, and just really not playing to the level that he's capable of doing. He did see a demotion, and they were even hesitant to call it a demotion on the broadcast because it's Andrew Mangiapane. He is 1 goal shy of 30 goals. So, are we just switching things up to beat the Oilers? Are we rolling with those same lines tonight? What is going to happen? And then, once the second period started, Mangiapane did seem to kind of tighten up the game and really, you know, put a little, I don't want to say put more effort in, because he still looks good out there. But he did kind of tighten up the game a little bit. I think that third line as a whole did as well. But I was very impressed with just the top six in general. I thought that they were great. And I don't know, there was just something about Tyler Toffoli. I believe it was his second goal. Is that it almost looked accidental, and that he was like falling a little bit. And I think that's his second goal where he's done something similar. So you cannot take any goals for granted, especially in the games against uh you know against your biggest rival, the Edmonton Oilers. And I just thought it was such a great game after the first period. It was a strong 40 minutes of hockey after that. And that's all you can ask for. I am looking forward to more competitive games from the Flames and their opponents. I think that it is always just like a really fun thing to watch and look forward to. And, they do play the Capitals tonight, and we're going to talk about that in just a little bit here. But they can use this, like that momentum from last night, to replicate another win. And, when you have two good teams out on the ice, obviously one is going to be better than the other. It might be mismatched. You never know. Like sometimes teams go out there and they look just entirely uh, sloppy, and like it's not what they're used to. And especially where this next game is the second half of a back-to-back, I don't know what we're going to get, and that's the fun of it. So we are going to talk about what the Flames need to avoid in order to have a successful second half of this back-to-back coming up next. And before we do that, I would like to pleasantly remind you all to head on over to betonline.net. BetOnline is your number one source for all your sports betting and live updates, totals, and player performance props. And they have these fun bets from, where the next fired coach is going to land, all reality TV show bets, and just everything you can think of at betonline.net. And they are a great source for hockey, boxing, UFC, MMA, you name it. And head on over to the website today, or use your mobile device to learn more about the trends and actions. Bet online, where the game starts. Thank you all so much for making Locked On Flames your first listen of the day. And once you're done with this episode, head on over to Locked On Now to check out that fun daily podcast. It's a great time to see people's genuine gut reactions after a trade, after a game, which is always fun. And I absolutely love being a part of that. And of course, make sure that you are following me on Twitter at Jess Belmosto. It's always a fun time there. You cannot let this team get under your skin. This Washington Capitals team are sneaky dirty. You know why I'm saying that? And it's not just because of Tom Wilson. It's not. Because they have played many games that I have watched against teams I like, against teams I don't like. Things get clipped and go on Twitter. And I don't understand how former Flame Garnet Hathaway has maybe not been suspended this season. Or if he has, I think that there should be more. Second looks at some of his hits, because they are late, they're dirty, and just kind of gross. But he has been very tough this season, and I think that there are a lot of players on the Caps like that. It's not just, to single him out by any means, but I really don't think the Flames can afford to let this team get under their skin. It's just very it just can get messy and out of hand, and the Flames really should not be risking, obviously, a man advantage for the Caps, and then, of course, risk injuring themselves out there, and just be the bigger team. Don't I remember my parents used to say this when I was getting bullied in, like, middle school, and they'd be like, "Don't give them a reaction. They want a reaction out of you." Well, no kidding. Like, I'm being picked on. I'm gonna give them a reaction. And I think that that's, a normal mentality. But with this hockey team, you just keep moving the puck, keep skating by. Because you know what? The Flames are probably going to go further in the playoffs than the Washington Capitals this year. I'm just saying, in my humble opinion. But I don't think that Zadorov should be out there like laying hits and laying people flat out on the ice or anything like that. I think there's going to be a heavy amount of physicality, and there always is when the Caps play. And I don't necessarily mean like just dropping the gloves and fighting physicality. I'm talking like body checking and, elbows and, getting a little frisky in front of the net sort of physicality there too. And the Flames should not at all let this team, kind of control possession of the puck, which is leading me into my next point here. Andrew Mangiapane, for the love of God, my darling, my sweet loaf of bread, my bag of croutons that I love so much. These turnovers have to end, and they need to be put to an end tonight. Please. Otherwise, I think Daryl Sutter may lose his mind. And I think that Mangiapane, he's not immune from criticism. I talked about this earlier, but he's still a young player. He's quote unquote regressed, but he's also been a top 6 player for most of this season who is carrying a lot of the workload, leads the team in scoring, and is, he's going to see a little bit of just a little setback. It's normal. Things happen, and you get tired. This has been a condensed season, and I'm not trying to make excuses, but think about it. He's 24, 25 years old and is carrying this team when it comes to scoring, and especially scoring on the road. But Flames are home tonight, and they do have a much better home record this year. They have 13 straight points at home. So that's fantastic. I am also very interested to see the lines that are rolled out for tonight. I believe that Vladar is starting, and it appears that Brett Ritchie is scratched, as well as Michael Stone and Brad Richardson. So we shall see what happens there. There was an optional morning skate today, and, well, we really don't see lines until go time. So I do really look forward to this game tonight, and I think that there are plenty of ways for the Flames to capitalize against another competitive team. And I feel redundant saying it day in and day out, but the biggest takeaway for this team tonight is do not let the Capitals get under your skin. Do not let them be the pest in that little gnat flying around your head, in your ear, and really buzzing and bothering you. And go out there and just dominate offensively. I believe both of their goaltenders have struggled this season. So it's not like you're going up against a hot goaltender. Go out there and just have another game of the week. I'm not going to say game of your life because that should come in the playoffs. But just mind your business. head down or, fly under the radar and score some goals. I almost said score some pucks. That's not how hockey works. But shoot the pucks and just do not let this Capitals team get under your skin. Be a fly on the wall, mind your business, fly under the radar, and do your job. That's it. I think that's fairly simple, and I think that is a fair assessment to give this team. And coming up next, we are going to talk about some exciting news and notes from this Flames roster because we have some milestones coming up this evening, as well as just some pretty impressive stats all around from this team. There's always something that they pull out of the stat book that blows me away when it comes to this wonderful Flames team. But first, let's talk about BetOnline. Rock Auto. We talked about BetOnline earlier. Cars are one of the biggest causes of headaches in my life. I literally hate driving my car because of how expensive it can be when it comes to replacing parts and needing to get work done. But I think that Rock Auto has saved me many headaches since I've started using it. And rockauto.com is just a lifesaver. Why endure often pointless and seemingly intimidating questions from your local chain store and wait while the person behind the counter orders the parts and choosing the brand that the warehouse carries when you can do it all from the comfort of your home or while you're while you're in your car. While you're in your car on your break and not driving, you can access rockauto.com at home and in your pocket. Very easy to do. You can save time and money with Rock Auto. You don't have to deal with condescending retail workers at a chain store, and Rock Auto is a family business. So we do love supporting family businesses, and if you're a do-it-yourselfer, they have been serving people like you for over 20 years. The prices are reliably low for every customer. There isn't, a special deal because you are a mechanic or anything like that. You get the same price as everyone else. And for you, they are offering some special inside knowledge. You can head on over to Rock Auto right now and see all of the parts available for your car or truck. Their website is very easy to navigate, and I have placed orders there before. My boyfriend's placed orders there, my brother, and my mom. And, they've all gotten it done, and they have all written Locked On in their How Did You Hear About Us box so they know that we sent you. It's that simple. Rockauto.com right now and write Locked On in that How Did You Hear About Us box so they know that we sent you. Amazing selection, reliably low prices, all the parts your car will ever need. Rockauto.com. Tonight, Mikael Backlund is skating in his 800th NHL game. Pat Steinberg just tweeted that Dan Vladar is the confirmed starter for this evening. 800 NHL games. My God, Mikael Backlund. He is 32 years old and was drafted 24th overall in the 2007 NHL draft and has scored 162 goals, 261 assists in his first 799 games. That is incredible. He is he seems like a very nice guy. Someone posted last weekend or the weekend before on in a Flames group on Facebook that they had met him while they were out shopping at the mall, or they were working a security detail and he happened to be walking around the mall at their store. And seems like a genuine guy. Most people probably aren't going to stop on their day off, but congratulations, Mikael. 800 games with the Flames organization. Hopefully they don't burn you the same way that they burned Mark Giordano. Johnny Gaudreau, what a guy. He has 13 points in 13 career meetings with the Capitals. 1 goal and 12 assists. So, I'm kind of hoping tonight he is able to find himself back on the score sheet because you're obviously going to need it. You need to score and find yourself on there to win. But I was looking at the game notes for the preview of this game, and I realized that Johnny leads the team in points with 73. He's rapidly approaching 100. Can he do it before the end of the season? I don't know. I think it's possible. I'm sure that really anything's possible with him. There's no doubt about that. And Elias Lindholm, his line mate, is coming off a hat trick in the team's last meeting, and he has 7 goals against his. Sorry, 7 goals. I'm trying to read my notes. 7 goals in 5 career games against Washington. That is unreal. I don't know. This kid is just such a great scorer, and I'm so happy that the Flames have him. And he could go out there and make some big bucks. But I hope that him and his girlfriend are settled in Calgary and really don't want to move, because I like them. And I like when he scores for this team. And another young gun, Andrew Mangiapane, is 1 goal away from 30. He would be the first Flames player this season to reach 30 goals. Quite honestly, very impressive for him to even be breaking which we knew was going to happen, the 18 goals from last season or 19 goals from last season, to set a new career high. And it's so nice to watch him blossom and turn into this strong player that he has been. And I really do hope that tonight he's able to hold on to the puck and really prove to everyone and prove to Sutter that he's back. Like, he knows what he's doing. He just, slip-ups happen. You ever have those days where you're like, I know this isn't the best effort that I could put into a project, but I'm turning it into you anyways just to prove that I did it? No, just me. Okay, good to know. All right, that's embarrassing to admit. But, I think that everyone kind of gets caught up in their day-to-day routines, and setbacks happen. But Andrew Mangiapane is a human being, and so are all of these guys. And it's not surprising to see slip-ups happen. It's bound to happen. And it shouldn't even be made into that big of a deal. He has had a few turnovers. He saw that little demotion, if you will. So we'll see how these lines roll out this evening against the Washington Capitals. As always, I am your host, Jess Belmosto. Thank you so much for listening to Locked On Flames. I will be back tomorrow, and Audie, our new weekly correspondent, will be jumping on with me for Thursday's show. Always exciting. Can never get enough of the Barn Burner Boys. So thank you all. Make sure that you're subscribed to Locked On Flames wherever you're getting your podcasts. And of course, make sure you are subscribed on YouTube and following me on Twitter at Jess Belmosto. And I will catch you all later. Bye-bye.